now I go to NBA tryouts. I'm, doing well, whatever. I'm thinking I'm going to make the Wizards at that time was my first big tryout or whatever. I'm the last one cut, the last point guard cut, and I beat out a lot of people. But I attribute it to how I changed. Like I was, in my mind, that's how I took it. Like the only thing, and I played the best in a week span. I did everything right. Like, and at that time I didn't have an agent. I got invited because my school was there, so the people knew of me. And then, so I went there, did well. I don't know if you ever heard of Sham God.
I heard of Sham God.
In New York. So what happens? They drafted Sham God, and so even though I outplayed all these players, and they were bringing in shooting coaches for him and all this stuff, but Mike Brown, who's now the coach of Sacramento Kings now, he was the bottom of the totem pole then of coaching. He was the one that I was dealing with. So he's like, hey, Watson, man, he's like, man, you outplayed all these people, blah, blah, blah. But if we keep you over him, it makes player personnel look bad. So that would be like you draft him, I come in, I outplay him, it makes you look bad. Like, so that was politics. At that time, I didn't understand.
Politics, yeah.
And I didn't have a person in my corner to say, it's all right. Listen, Dow Armstrong, Avery Johnson, they got cut 4 or 5 times and we kept coming back. So that was what I should have kept coming back. But I was so hurt because I'm thinking the best man win. And now even the people that were on my team at that camp, they're telling me like, yo, you gonna make it, bro. Now Brian Reese, these Johnny Rose, they had big schools, North Carolina, Maryland. They like, yo, you gonna make it, brother. Keep playing. So now I'm like, damn, I'm rocking. And for them to tell me that on the last day is like, wait, what? I was hurt. Like, I was crushed. And I didn't understand it. So I didn't have somebody say, this all right, bro, we're gonna be right back. And I was like, man, F the NBA, man. I'm, just out of frustration. And I did the CBA after that. So it was like, just playing the CBA. CBA was the minor league. Before the G League, it was the CBA.
Got you.
So that's what I did. I made all rookie team and all that, but I didn't get called up. And I got a good deal to go to Europe, and that's how the whole thing started. And I should have kept coming back to the NBA, but it worked out.
Yeah. TK. Jersey. I've been on the grind, man, all it took was patience. That money on my mind, man, all I see is hating. He jocking on the low, man, you know the kid is wavy. Like how you mad at me when you know you're fucking lazy. Should've changed.
What's going on, world? How y'all doing? We back with another special episode of the Health and Hip Hop Podcast Show. I am the composer Rel. As the co-host, we have
your girl, Tori Key, a.k.a. Health is Key, in the building.
And we have a very special guest sitting with us today that's going to drop so much wisdom. We have Alan Watson, a.k.a.
A-Game Training.
Tactician.
Yes, the tactician. So yes, please introduce yourself. I mean, it's more to you. We don't wanna. Yeah, please introduce yourself.
Alan Watson, and I do call myself a tactician. But I'm just a guy who just love to do what he do, help people, help athletes, youth. That's pretty much it. It's the overall wellness. That's what I'm a part of.
Yes. It's definitely amazing. Thank you for being with us today, sharing with our viewers, sharing with our tribe.
Definitely.
As there's a lot of information, especially coming from the athletic world, that you'll be able to share out with, the listeners, watchers as well. So thank you for being present.
And thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, you want to ask our famous first question?
Our famous first question. If you haven't been tuned in, you're going to get a taste of what we always ask our guests. So who is, if you have one, your favorite hip-hop artist and why?
My favorite hip-hop artist is Jay-Z. Jay-Z is, man, I feel like I've grown with him. And then, it probably started in high school, but playing overseas in Europe, being abroad in so many different countries by myself, and being over there for such a long time. So like 6, 7, 8 months at a time by myself, no language, nothing. The music is what got me through it. And Jay-Z definitely helped me get through those times. Definitely, and I just grew with him. I seen how every album, you know, he just grew. Lyrically, I saw, you know, just his determination to be the best. Yeah, so he's definitely my favorite artist of all time. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite album out of the plethora of albums?
That's tough. I would probably say, yeah, that's a very hard question for me. But if I had to, I would probably say Reasonable Doubt.
Is that the one
That's
that
like a safe
got
answer.
the most replay, you know, or I don't know, connected most with?
Yeah, so that's why it's tough because different countries, you know, different albums were out and it really helped, you know what I'm saying? But Reasonable Doubt, I just appreciate it because it wasn't like how I viewed it as a classic. And I think at that time, you get 5 mics and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but
forgot about that. Oh my God.
Yeah, so it didn't really get the credit, you know what I mean, that I thought it deserved. But you know, just his journey, just to get there on his own, getting turned down from record labels, all that stuff, really hit me. And then when I heard the album, like, he a beast. Lyrically, just his swag. Obviously, he was a little more mature coming to the game, but just, you know, and just what he was preaching, the independence and the hunger, just resonated with me. You know what I mean? And his desire to be the best. So, yeah, that was that. I would say Reasonable Doubt.
I think that helped out a lot now that you say.
What's that?
Him coming into the game like mature.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, he came in, that came out when he was 26.
That's like 96. Right?
Yeah, he was like 26.
Yeah.
So, you know, the maturity from everything that he went through, what have you. Do you have what's your favorite 2 tracks, if you could say, off that album?
Off the album, I would say, damn, that's a tough one. Good God, yeah, that's a tough one. I would say, Can't Knock the Hustle. I would say, what's the one with, damn, that's tough, because Can I Live is ill. Imaginary Players, I would say. I would say Imaginary,
That's on volume 1.
Oh, Lord. So Can't Knock the Hustle, and then I have to be probably, Can I Live is on,
That's
Can
on
I
that
Live?
joint.
Yeah, Can I Live?
That's on that joint.
That's, oh yeah.
Yeah,
I would have
that's
to say
on
those
that
2,
joint.
yeah.
Cause that album is so classic,
What?
and like you could play that literally
whole-
from beginning
yeah.
to the end.
To end, just the beats, everything, how he flow, just, yeah, it was impeccable to me. And then I think now it got the credit. That
Yeah.
It went beyond platinum and all that.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Most definitely.
But it came later.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah, cause they didn't have, you know, the different things that we have now.
Yeah,
you know, and
yeah.
people started to pick up on it
Yeah.
later down the line.
Yeah.
But yo, like with me just having like once again the educator in the house, like
Yeah.
I heard different. So even though Pac was the dominant rapper of the
Yeah.
house, Jay-Z was still thrown in there too.
Yeah.
You know, especially like 22 Tubes.
yeah, oh yeah.
You know,
22.
Maria
Very
Wendy's,
creative.
you know, just hearing that, you know, so
What?
the quality
Yeah.
as well as, you know, just the rawness of that album.
Yeah.
Like mine all time is like
Wait,
Dead
album?
Presidents. No, like song.
Oh yeah.
Dead
Oh
Presidents
yeah,
too.
Dead Presidents.
You know,
Forgot about that.
cause me, I like the beats,
Yeah.
you know, and then you throw the beat, and then you throw what he's saying on the beat and how he's
Yeah.
flowing.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
that
it's
junk
impeccable.
is just
Yeah, he's-
powerful.
Yeah. That's
Powerful.
anybody will tell you. My clients, they would tell you like, I played Jay-Z so much, it was like,
I done heard a lot of the things I bumped from just coming in the Aquafit and getting food.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll be like, yo, I'll be eating, I'll be like, I always like, Olive, what's that? And you be putting me on, like.
I love music. Music, man.
Nah, you be putting me on.
Yo, playing I remember going to Estonia. I've got the contract to go to Estonia. I'm like, I don't know what the hell Estonia is. Agent like, man, I'm telling you, money is good, but I look it up, I'm like, Russia. So anyway, but the music, like, man, Kanye West first album. What?
They
Got
was
me.
playing that a lot, or that's
Yeah.
what you was just listening
I'm
to?
just saying that, like, I listened to it. Those, like, obviously, because I'm Jay-Z'd out, and I started getting, then I'm like, oh, Kanye. But that stuck out. That got me through for sure. And when 50 first dropped, I was playing in Austria. Now was I playing Austria? No, I was in Estonia. This is where they wasn't even used to seeing black people, like up and close, like.
Wow.
Were you getting stopped a lot?
What? Yeah, every day. And then so when you first arrive, you're like a rock star because weeks before you come, your pictures in the paper, billboards, whatever, bus stops, all type of stuff. So
Wow.
now I came, I have waves in my head. They couldn't. They were like, I would go eat. Kids would always come and they're like touching your skin. They're like this. And parents like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. You know, it's like. And the other thing that was funny is they would say, negra. So we'd be like, what? I mean, just on the street. Oh, so just imagine you walking.
And that's black. They saying black, like, yeah.
But us, you just
Yeah.
like, and you walking down the street, people looking at you like, negra. You like, what? But it was.
You had to get used to
You
it.
had to get used to it, and then once you start understanding, but trust me, I had teammates, people that didn't make it, like, they couldn't do it. They're like, nah, I can't do this. It's not for me. I can't, the language, food portions, it's just different.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the music got me through a lot of those situations, though.
Were you still considering yourself the tactician at that time?
Nah,
Like, put us on to that. Like,
yeah, so
what's the
I will tell you
tactician?
how
Who's the tactician?
Well, that came later on. It's like the training definitely. Before I even got into the training thing, when I was chasing my own goals, whatever, training, I was always working out. So it was like, oh, you want to go? Oh, go work out. Al, he's always working out. You know what I mean? And then it was that type of. So I had that reputation, and then playing high school, all state, all that type of stuff, I had a reputation for playing. So now, it was just kind of like, oh yeah, that's what he do. So anybody that came in town, I was just getting people to work out with me. It wasn't even a business. It wasn't like I say, I'm going to be a trainer when I finish. It never planned like that. But it just happened organically, like through reputation. Even the business, it was kind of like people that was before me, the OGs before me that have kids, they knew how I was as a player. So they knew I always worked. People weren't really working out like that. It was kind of like, you're good, they're good. You know what I mean? So I had a work ethic, and then I was really gifted at football at a young age. All type of records on every level. Newark, East Orange, then went to high school, broke records for football. I'm running back.
Where were you at high school?
At high school, I went to Essex Catholic.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. But the funny how it worked out from the training thing. So again, I was an elite football player young. One day, my boys we grew up in the Spires, and we were just walking and seeing like Small Fry on the tryouts on this pole, just like, oh, let's go try out. Now, we never played basketball in our hood growing up. We played football on the basketball court in Academy Spires. I grew up.
Are you from Newark?
I'm from Newark.
Okay.
Academy Spires on First Street. And so we was like, oh, let's go try out. We went, tried out. Myself and another guy, I think Omar Howard, were the two that made it, the team. Now, I was an athlete. I was fast, but I didn't really know how to play basketball. And we just kept playing, and the coach liked us, and we made Small Fry. We played, and then we traveled. We got to nationals, and we traveled to Puerto Rico. That's the first time I ever traveled like that. So, and we went to the finals and lost to Puerto Rico in the nationals.
Wow.
And then from there, the coach wanted me to come to St. Rocco's, which is right on Ashland on South Orange Avenue. They were like, it's a basketball, camp. Like, everybody that went there. St. Rocco's was known for youth basketball. So again, my aunt was a legendary basketball coach. So the coach knew my aunt is Watson. Her name is Vanessa Watson.
I don't know how I put it together. Like 2 days ago, not 2 days ago, a few days ago.
Yeah.
I had put it together because I was like Watson, and I'm like, and I just Googled or was it? It was a mutual friend. No, what it was Jania. It was something with Jania just came up because I used to play ball with her back in the day, and then it just came to me.
Yeah.
So that's your aunt,
That's my
Vanessa
aunt. Yeah,
of
that's-
Shabazz. Of like,
legend,
that's
legend.
if y'all don't know, man, the Shabazz record for the girls.
It's like out of here.
I looked it up and it said that she has one of the like most prestige
Yeah,
coaching
definitely.
history in New Jersey, in the state of New Jersey.
Yeah, I mean the country.
In the country. Oh wow! See,
Nah.
when I looked up, it said New Jersey,
She's
so it's in
definitely
the
a
country.
legend. But you
Yeah,
got
absolutely.
I'm sure you got heard of Bobby Hurley.
No, I haven't.
Never heard of Bobby Hurley? Bobby Hurley's a legendary, iconic basketball coach in New Jersey.
Okay.
Jersey City.
Okay.
So she's the female Bobby Hurley.
Oh,
I'm talking
wow,
about,
wow,
You're
wow.
talking about a person that sent hundreds of inner city kids to
Yes.
Division I, Division II, whatever it is, to college for free.
Wow.
Like state champions. I was young, talking about little, going to the games, and you're having on sweatshirts with like 82, 83, 84, like the wins is like, I can't even begin to tell you how many championships she has, like county, states,
Wow.
sectionals, and she really built a program, you know what I mean? Just, those girls are good.
Nah, how was that growing up for you? Like growing up playing ball, growing up with Vanessa Watson as your aunt, you know what I mean? Like how was that for you? And did it make you want to be like nice as well? Like,
yeah, because I used to go to like swag, everything.
Yeah, she fire, man.
Yeah, she was like
fire.
the total package for me, and I used to wear her little, like sneak in her closet, wear her sneakers, sweats, so she had all the fly sweatsuits. And she had so much stuff, it's like you didn't even know what's going. But I stayed fresh because she was fresh. Right. And I used to go to watch her play in like the Mayor's Tournament game, because like the guys would have, you had to have 2 women on the team or something like that. And she used to be, I used to go to West Side, watch it. So, and then go to the games, watch her coach, her passion. And she was cool as a fan. Like, granted, it was times she would get a little like, had to hang them up, but I watched her in pressure situations, just cool, calm. Like, look, time out, we gonna pop. Just like poetry in motion.
Wow.
And then when I got to, and that was me on the outside. Once I retired from playing ball, she was like, you gotta come with me, help me out. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like, what, you got a machine? But she wanted me to bring my aspect to it.
Wow.
She would think about it. She was winning all that stuff without like a strength and conditioning. Just,
Wow.
Just what she knew, conditioning, the teaching. But by the time I started coaching with her, I brought the physical part to it. So stretching, you know what I mean?
What year was this?
This was 2000, probably 10. Like
Wow. Okay. Yes.
Probably
Wow.
2010, somewhere around there. Yeah, because I was there probably like 4 years. Yeah, but just to, and then she was just kind of like, do your thing, you know what I mean? And it was like adding a whole nother horsepower to a crazy engine anyway. You know what I mean? So people was like, man, that's not fair. Y'all shit, but it's family, and it allowed. I even grew. You know what I mean? Just working with on the girls' side, it was really dope, and they were really receptive to it, and we just had fun, and it was just like we was really just winning, like I don't know.
Nah, it was going to them games was amazing, man. Like, it was amazing, and just watching the smiles when they won, like watching like Alnisa, watching Greedy, watching Jania, watching was it Matty? Yeah, that was like that. I was like a fan, man. Yeah. I was a huge fan of just watching those girls. Like, you could feel like the feelings going in the building of those games, man. Like just the energy walking into the state champs in those arenas, like just was like heavy.
Yeah, and the support.
Like, the support was fire. Like
for just being there. It's my aunt. I grew up with her, but
I can't even imagine from the inside. I can't imagine from the inside.
Just really greatness, and just how she's able to handle, a group of young girls just to get on one accord. And the discipline, the structure, the respect. Like, that's non-existent today. I mean, to do it for so many years consistently, you know what I mean? It's like greatness. So I'm looking at, and again, in situations, and she'll be like, hey, what you think, you know, da-da. And I'll be like, all right, da-da. And then it's like, sometimes she like, that's good, I'm gonna go with that. Or sometimes it's just like, she was, to be the stature where she was, to still be asking like, what you think is just, you know what I mean? It was like, what? And that's confidence.
Right.
You know what I mean? She was already winning before me, you know what I mean? But just the respect and just the, you know, confidence that she had in me helped me a lot grow. And then one time she had an incident where she couldn't coach. They said, oh, we gotta do this, she can't coach no more. They was on an investigation or something. So I had to step in for 13 games. Like, what?
How'd you feel? Like,
And undefeated. Like, and then think about this.
Ooh, how was that?
She never lost a home game.
Wow.
So every time we played, it was like, damn, bro, you got it. You know what I mean? Never lost a home game.
Right.
Sports, black people alone, and then sports heads, boy, they put the pressure on, like,
she winning.
Yeah.
And it was like,
alone.
it was like a super microscope.
Oh
like,
my gosh! And then and then sports is like that's all nationality, so I can't even like.
But it was again that helped. It helped me. You know what I mean? Because I was prepared. I had already been with her. You know, I knew the system. Whatever.
Did you keep it up?
Yeah, we won. I think the closest game probably was 20, if that.
Oh.
No, I'm sorry, no. Because one game was well, yeah, it ended up being like 20 points. But
Yeah, y'all used to be smacking.
I was pressing. I was doing everything. But you know, I learned a lot. It gave me a lot of confidence. The girls trusted me and respected me anyway, so it was smooth sailing. We got through the whole thing, and I think.
I remember that. Now that I remember that. It was an investigation. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't even.
Yeah.
Cause I was winning too much. Yeah. That's really what it was. That's really what it was. I forgot all about that. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I remember that. Wow.
And, you know, that led to the, you know, I never wanted to coach. I never wanted to be you know, so, but doing that one, and then the principal was like, hey man, there's no need for both of y'all to be on this. Like, we need you with the boys, because the girls was here, the boys were here. You know, from a winning standpoint. And I was like, no. And then he eventually got to my aunt. And my aunt just kind of like, well, maybe you should help the boys. They need, you know what I mean? I'm like, nah, I turned down for so long. She probably was like, please just take it. They need a positive image.
Yeah, that's true.
I ended up doing the boys for, I want to say 2 or 3 years, something like that.
How was that like transition?
It was very different, very challenging. And I would say, again, we were winning. Like, the girls, it was like, we the show.
Right.
The boys, it was like, these knuckleheads, you know. So what I did from the beginning is try to change the culture from an academic standpoint. So what I did was, now this is crazy. It was mandatory ties. You had to wear a shirt, ties to school on game days.
That's what you had to do?
I made it, so they had to wear a shirt and ties on game day, and they had to get a progress report. So I had progress reports. Every morning they come see me, boom, get the progress report. Every teacher that they went to had to sign how their behavior, their grades, homework, what attendance, everything, participation. So, and what it did was it made them accountable, and then it made them feel good. So even though you think about it, Shabazz is a rough school.
Yeah, Shabazz.
I think about
for
coming in with a tie, shoes.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Nah, but it made them. They came together. They looked good, so they felt good. You know what I mean? Get haircuts. I would have people come in to give haircuts.
Wow.
I fed them. At this time, you know, it was like I would order like trays of salads, rice, and then the Portuguese chicken. Just because the school lunches are horrendous. So it's like, how am I ask them to compete at a high level, but they're not getting any nutrition.
Right.
So
that's what they is.
All day, figure lunch be at 11 o'clock, games at 7.
Yeah.
They run to the stores, 5 bags of chips, honey buns.
Soda, Chinese food before the games, pizza before the games.
So, so I try to give a better option.
McDonald's.
So that's what I did. And just, I think to this day is the highest rated from a boys standpoint, the most on the honor roll.
Wow.
We had the honor roll, graduation, everything was really high. We didn't win as much. We did win, but not like, it wasn't like, oh wow, it's gonna turn the program around. But it was like,
it got better.
It got better, and you're just trying to. And then they weren't used to the structure, discipline. You know what I mean?
The boys,
the boys, yeah, they weren't used to the structure. So, and then me being an athlete, it was kind of like, what, you don't want to? All right, it was a short leash because now I'm used to the girls. It was kind of like a sponge. What you need, Coach A? Yes. And then you got to think, I'm a trainer. I'm on a high level with athletes so some of their peers that are All-Americans, they're coming to our school to train with me.
Wow.
So you think about cats that's all state, all this, going to Kentucky, all these schools, coming to the school, train with me. And I'm one of the few coaches in the city that had the access. I think my aunt's a legend. Mm-hmm. I'm the coach. Oh, my A game, it was running out of Shabazz.
Wow. That's where you started, basically?
That's where I really started the...
Tactician?
Yeah, in Shabazz, because I'm coach. I built my own little gym within the school. Mm-hmm. Oh, my clients was coming. I was doing fitness.
So you was doing your fitness training in the Shabazz gym. Wow.
Yeah, so it was like a little room inside the gym that was separate, and I decorated. I had the turf put in there. I had, at that time, I was kind of sponsored with Reebok, so I had this big poster of J.J. Watts at the time. He was wearing Reebok stuff, so I was promoting that. And just, I made it real, like, oh, this is right. So, but think about it, all Americans coming from other schools, Plainfield, St. Peter's, all these different schools. And now I'm thinking, they come in the gym, all these different hours. I have access. How are you not? Y'all should be in the gym. Even though you're not training with me,
Facts.
Come get better. So
Facts.
that was the frustrating part for me, because I'm like, damn, I train the best. I'm with you guys every day, and I'm one of the few coaches that have the access to get in the gym whenever, early morning, late night. So just come to the gym for an hour, 2 hours, go, just trying to instill the work ethic in them. Right? So that was the most challenging part, especially coming from the girls who was like, Coach, hey, what's up? You in the gym? Before practice, after practice, you know what I mean? So
why do you think it was like that? The difference in the girls and the boys, like, do you think it was because of Coach Vanessa or Coach Washington, or was it just, you think it's the difference between just girls and boys at the time? Like, what do you think was the difference in that work ethic?
I would say the Shabazz female program already had a reputation. So it was so big that when you came, if you knew you were going to Shabazz, you already knew what type of atmosphere it was going to be, and you knew what type of demand it was going to be on you. You know what I mean? So, 7th grade, we used to see sixth graders like,
true.
oh, when I'm coming to Shabazz, I'm talking about young little girls already prepping, like, I'm coming. You know what I mean? So you already getting a higher caliber to a degree of
kind of like you picking out your high school, like you picking out your college, like in the 6th grade, 5th grade.
So would that be like sort of the same page, like how St. Pat's was back in the day?
Yes, yeah.
Got you. For the boys, okay.
For the boys, because you already, the reputation, people know, no, Coach Watson, she don't play. Because the girls said she was like a mother figure to a lot. I'm talking about people that didn't have moms, growing up on their own. Like, she was beyond, the coach is just one aspect of it. When people come speak at like our banquets and stuff, crying just like she was their mother. Feeding people, just everything. She was much more than a coach. But so that was in the community. But they know she'll chew you out, you know what I'm saying? And so it was kind of like a no nonsense, but it was family. So when you come there, you already know what to expect. Like, she don't play. She gonna love you like a daughter and all that. Tough love, give you everything in the world, you know what I'm saying? So you already know that, and you know the reputation of everybody that came through there, going to all these big schools, all that. So with the boys, the expectations wasn't as high, you know what I mean? So now you gotta, people, they wasn't going to school, you know what I mean? But so now you got a person talking about wear a tie and a shirt, and you got, grades, your grade, I'm asking you about grades, making sure. So I attacked that first, and then bringing a whole different, mindset was challenging, but it took time. But for me, it wasn't really what I wanted to do. So
Okay, got you. So,
you know, being that the principal was turning the school around, he was like, yo, you're a positive male, you got a lot going on, it's a good image. So that's kind of how I got into that.
Wow. So you being a trainer, someone that's, you know, starting at the bottom, how would they go from starting at the bottom and working their way up? Like, what would you do to help support them through that transition?
What would I do to help the next young trainer that's trying to come up?
Or no, like as far as like an athletic, like let's say like a basketball player or a football
player.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the first thing I would do with them?
Yeah.
Wait, from a standpoint of helping them develop to like the work ethic or to get to.
Just
So like say a middle school kid to
Right.
prepare for high school. Like
Right.
that? Oh,
Right.
Yeah. Well, what I do, I just first I have to see how you want it. Like if the person really wants it, because a lot of times the parents want it more than the kid. So if they want it and hey, I told you I tell them I'm like a computer. You tell me, hey, Coach, hey, I want to be a Division I player.
Right.
I'm gonna process that. All right, you got to do this, and this.
Wow.
So once I give you that information, you know what I'm saying? I'll be there with you, guide you, but you're gonna be with yourself more than you're gonna be with me. I don't care. And I think I'm an elite, but you're gonna be with yourself more than me. So I'm just the runway. Everything that I give you, you gotta take that and go do it. You know what I'm saying? Certain things at night, you should be waking up early in the morning. You gotta do more. So I instilled that whole that work ethic is key. And it's how I came up. I had a reputation for a work ethic. I was a football player that was a elite football player that had to make myself good in basketball, and that's work ethic.
question, because when I see like a lot of times, right? Because remember how Jerron was nice in football and basketball. He went to play for Green Packers, but. It's funny because when I see football players sometimes they be rough. Was like,
Playing,
like you know how football players
Doing them
play ball,
technical fouls.
They be real rough. Like the box house be OD hard, like the rebounds.
Nah, that's true.
Like Indio Champ, like how he.
I seen it.
Was that you?
Nah, that wasn't me. Nah, I was
joking, but
I was more of a. I was finesse, even as a football player.
Oh, okay.
So I wasn't.
So you were smooth.
Yeah, and I was really fast. So I wasn't trying to get hit. So, we ran a wishbone, like in Pop Warner, we ran a wishbone, and so that's the quarterback and the fullback and two running backs back here. So one of my closest friends, he was the other. His dad was the coach, and he used to say, I used to be like, bro, just lay the first person out, and then I'll do the rest. And that was our little thing. And that's what happened. Once he lay him out, then I would make my way. And it was like, kind of in football, it was one of those things where if the play is designed to go here, you don't really want to lose yards. So even if you see like, I ain't gonna really get there where I'm not gonna get that much yards, but let me just not lose yards and maybe get two. Me? Nah, I would run. Where I back up and I would run from this side of the field, like literally, the play we going over here. This is the blockers. If it's crowded and I'm like, I will run all the way back.
Oh, you was different.
Yeah, so it was kind of like that's kind of like a no-go in football because people because if you get caught, then it's like
you lost
all these yards. Right. You know what I mean? So, but it always worked out for me.
Wow.
Yeah, I was fast. And I was juke, you know what I mean? I was really, so I wasn't a run you over type of guy. Unless I had to, I wasn't running out of bounds, so I would put my head down on the sideline. So I was finesse. So then when it came to basketball, again, I was a center in St. Rocco's.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
I was a center. So I'm talking about, again.
So wait, how you become a guard?
Because, so look, the guys that I played with at St. Rocco's, they were. I'm talking about the figure eight. I'm like, I don't know how to do this. I'm a football player. Yeah. So they teaching us.
You talk about the figure eight drill, like when you doing the.
I don't know how to do that. So now I'm in there with elite guys that's been at St. Rocco's since they were in the 4th grade. So they came up through the system. Now I'm messing up, dropping the ball, and they like, oh. And when you mess up, our coach Paul McPleasant was a legend too. He used to make us do duck walks. Like, so you have to duck walk, and people think about it. I'm dropping the ball, messing up.
Oh yeah.
Everybody got to do it,
like,
right?
Yeah, everybody got to do it. So, yeah, and I was a center. So I was fast. I could make a layup, but I couldn't dribble. I wasn't doing none of that. That was 7th grade.
Wow.
So by the time, think about it. Now my 8th grade year, they're like, you know, you're gonna be a point guard in high school. I'm like, what? No, I kid you not. I worked so hard. I'm talking about I dribbled tennis balls. I had to save money. My aunts, my mom saved, let me go to camps I'll say that whole summer, I dribbled everything all day, begged for a basket in my back, because I moved from Newark to East Orange. Begged for years, I just need a court, dribble. And finally my dad said, all right, you want a court? I'm thinking I'm going to Kmart to get a court, we're gonna play.
With the wood in the sand in it?
Made me dig a hole, took a pipe from the basement.
Wow.
Landed, went to Home Depot, got a plywood.
Wow.
And we got the basket from Kmart, just the basket part, and built it. That was the best thing. That
wow.
Was the best thing.
You said that your father did that?
Yeah, my dad.
Fire,
did that,
man.
And yeah, I was there all night, and I'm talking about dribbling. So that's why when I hear people, like you hear people talk about me from a basketball standpoint,
that's the work
inside.
ethic.
Yeah, it's like that's one of the best feelings because I know where I started, and then the work ethic.
Wow.
I just worked.
From dropping the ball to playing pros overseas.
And I'm talking
fire.
about no just working out to, again, breaking a record as a freshman in high school, right, as a Catholic for football, and then just stopping. Like,
wow.
My first letter was from Notre Dame. And then the next year, everybody's anticipated, we got the best running back, you know, and then, I'm not going to play.
He was like Kaepernick did, like how he was playing basketball and then he had to go to football. I forgot, wasn't that in the movie? Yeah, that was what I seen in the movie. He had dropped it and it was like, no, wow, that's different.
And I just stopped football and just went to basketball?
Yeah, and I would say if I had a regret, it would be that I stopped playing football. Only because if I think about it now, like, I dominated on every level, right? I was in Newark for the Cardinals, then moved to East Orange. And the crazy thing is in East Orange, they told me, we got our backfill already. So it was kind of like, well, I'm a running back, so I don't know, we got to figure this out. And one of the coaches knew me, so he's like, they tried to intimidate me. So they tried to put me in a nutcracker and all these different drills to break me.
What's the nutcracker?
Nutcracker is like where so I'm laying on my back like this, the other person's on their back like that, they blow the whistle, like whoever gets up the fastest, you run the person over.
Got you, okay.
I was going through all that stuff, and bull in the ring, so that means I'm in the middle, all the players are in a circle, and you just chopping, you going around with my feet chopping, and whatever, so he'll call a number.
Oh, okay.
If he call a number, so let's say 32 is behind me, he called 32, and I'm like this, they just bang, run you over. So you gotta stay on the swivel. So they call it bull in the ring. But they try to intimidate me with all that stuff, and that didn't work. So then they end up putting me at quarterback. So think about I'm at quarterback with a horse collar on, never threw.
So question. So they wasn't putting you at running back because the backfield was already full.
Yeah,
so it was
politics.
Wow.
Think about, I'm coming from Newark.
Yeah, got you.
They came up through the program, was like, that would be like.
Yeah. That's okay.
So
they was kind of rivaling at that point too, right?
Who's that?
At one time, like Newark and EO.
Newark and EO, yeah. So I'm coming, you know what I mean? It's like, so only one of the coaches did know. He's like, he legit. But the politics. Right. When they figured out, they just put me at quarterback, and I still led in touchdowns from the quarterback position. Dang. You know what I'm saying? With a horse collar, I could probably count on half a hand how many times I threw the ball. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I wasn't a quarterback. But
oh yeah, so you going to?
Yeah, I knew I'm gonna run. I would just back there and just run. I did that. But yeah, so football was I didn't even know basketball. I was just make layups and stuff, but I was like, what? I'm gonna play the guard? Yo, I dribbled everything. Tennis balls, the little jack balls. I did everything.
Wow, them things are small.
Yeah, and went to camps. By the time I was my freshman year in high school, I played. They had me on. They had all the freshmen come in and try. Nah, you got to move them up. I went to JV. Was killing JV. So, but the senior, the varsity was really good. So they're like, "Are we gonna bring you to varsity? You ain't gonna play that much, but we know you the future." And so that's what I did. Was on varsity a little, killed JV, and then by the time my sophomore year it was my team, and then I just went crazy. But it's just the work ethic was the key. So everything with me is work ethic. That was the foundation of where I am now. You know what I mean? And I try to instill it. So there's people I can't train you. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Kids, parents carrying the kids' backpack, sneakers, like nah.
Carrying a backpack and the sneakers?
Yeah, what? I'm talking about coming to work out. Mom, not even just mom, that they carrying the sneakers, carrying bag, like, no. So then it gets to a point, they're like, how did you get him to do that? How you get her to do that? So disrespect, they like, could you, outside of training, could you call and ask, have such and such do this? You know, just because the kids had the respect for me. But yeah, I still to this day, I'm not I never chased, like, this kid's All-American, so, you know, I'm gonna just let them get by. And I never chase that stuff. The accolades. I never make my client bigger than me. I don't care what accolades they have. I know that I can get this kid better, or I'm gonna find a deficiency and challenge them and make them better. So
that's what I see a lot. I see a lot of times when you post with the NBA players that you train. I see you studying, so that's what you do as well too. Like you study the footage and just look at the deficiencies and
I look at how they move, how they and then how they game, what I can add to it. And once you start seeing how they move and run, how they play, then I know like I could probably get them to do this, and you'd be amazed. Like I had a guy, he's now playing for the Nets, but I was working him out in Miami. Been in the league for 12 years. He was like. I had him, he's kind of a big guy. He's probably like 6'10" or whatever. But he never, so he's used to playing with his back to the basket. I had him doing stuff facing the basket, out in the three-point line. So he's like, but I'm out here. Like, I got you, bro. He's doing the move and he's struggling, frustrated. And he's asked me, why do you have me out here doing this stuff? So I said to him, if you are posting up, right, you turn and face the guy, it's the same as if you out on the three-point line. You can still use your guard skills in the post. Because once you turn and face, you're a guard. And he's like, damn, nobody ever broke it down to me. And I think he'd been in the league for 12 years.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? You're a 12-year NBA. That's the top of the food chain. Nobody ever told him, yo, when you turn and face, you're a guard.
What made you think of that?
Just knowing the game. I just know, like, it's just that it's further out. But when I turn the face, you use a guard. You use the jab steps, you know what I mean? It's just, so he's just like, damn. But that's, a lot of times people in their camp don't really, they don't really want to go against the grain. You need to do this or you can't do it because everybody's just.
Politics and everything.
Yes men or whatever the case may be. But
wow.
I tell people, I never call myself a NBA trainer. I'm not an NBA trainer. You never hear me say I'm an NBA trainer. And I have, just being honest, and I'm a super humble person, you know what I mean? But I have a lot more than a lot of people. I'm talking about strictly NBA people. But I never call myself an NBA trainer because I give the beginner, I'm talking about first time playing, I love that. Like, I give them the same energy that I give a pro. There's no different. I just love what I do. You know what I'm saying? So I'll never say, I'm an NBA trainer. I got all of it. I'm big. You'll never hear me say that. And I dislike people that do that. And there's very few people that can be on this level, but still know how to develop. A lot of people can't develop. You got to think, NBA, that's the top. So they good, they're athletic, but it's hard to find, like, what can't you do? Wow. And then have the guts to tell them. Right. Making $94 million. What? You know what I'm saying? You want to tell me what I can't do? And they're around people that don't really tell them. You know what I'm saying?
They used to.
And here come this guy's like, Like, nah, you gonna do this, this, and this. You know what I mean? Find the fit. Well, you can't. Why you can't do this? And be cool with it. And then if they don't work with me no more, it's cool. I'm not pressed to just be at that level. I love working with beginners too, so it's a win-win for me. You know what I'm saying? So
Wow. So I heard you just speak on like the high school boys with their diet, going to the bodegas or what have you after school before games. Have you ever had to like tell any of the professional athletes, yo, you gotta add this type of stuff to your diet?
Definitely.
And if you did, like how did they take it?
they definitely take it.
They took it?
Yeah,
Every
because
single-
when you like, so a specific person, let's say Victor Oladipo, right? I was with him I started like 6 months straight, 6, 7 months straight. Like everywhere he went, we traveled. We in Miami, we in DC, wherever he went, BT Awards, we flew. We out. So when they see the discipline that you have, and they'll just, well, you eat rabbit food or you, it's cool. But I'm telling you, you need to start trying. I'm telling you, how you feel is gonna help you. You know what I mean? And you just shoot your look and be confident. Yeah, I'm not like, you know what? Yeah, right. Let me get that. Nah, sticking to your guns and really believing in what I'm talking about. So it's just chipping away, and then eventually I got him to agree with me to go vegan for a month. You know what I mean? And then the one time what really helped too is he ended up getting injured, and I'm like, yo, you start eating like this, bro, it'll help the process. Like, a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And then it was like, you know what? All right, you know what I mean? And then it was kind of like, and then Beyond had just came out, Beyond Me, right? So he didn't know they wanted him to do endorsement. He didn't really know about it. He was just like, oh, this is your world. What's up? I said, if you don't listen to nothing I say, trust me. Get the shares, blah, blah, blah. It's going to blow, I'm telling you. And
Yes.
he definitely, he did that. That was one of the best things. And he knew nothing about it. And they just used to send us like, I'm talking about he was sending us like all type of just, and he was like, man, he wasn't even vegan. He wasn't vegan.
He just did it for that month.
He just,
But did he do it?
No, I'm saying the Beyond thing came.
Oh, okay.
He was a part. He was one of the endorsers.
Okay, got you.
He's an ambassador.
Yeah, got you.
And yeah, they were just sending us stuff. So it was cool because I was like, oh, I got this. I could, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I basically, they see your discipline and start hearing different stuff, and it was like, oh, yeah.
So he was able to see like a difference before he was eating.
Yeah,
vegan
even currently.
and after.
So his situation, right? And again, he got hurt. He turned down major money from the Indiana Pacers. He turned down like, I want to say like 114 million. It was something crazy like that. So, and I started with him when he was at Indiana, and we worked that 6 months. I told you I traveled. He ended up getting most improved player of the league.
Wow.
So it really took me like, you know what I mean? And then we had a little difference with his management, you know what I mean? And that's when I kind of, again, I don't be like, yes man. So it was like, what? Nah, me and him was still tight, but I fell back. And then he got injured. So he let go the manager that he had at that time. And the person, again, we traveled in the crew. It was myself, him, his music, because he does music as well. His music producer, maybe his barber, and then the manager's son. So we always travel everywhere. So the person that was his music producer, once he fired that guy, was like, yo, he was injured, he was down, and he's like, yo, when we was getting to it, who were we messing with? Al. And he was like, yo, let's get Al back, blah, blah, blah. Boom, so then the injury he had was a rare. It's like he tore his quad.
Wow,
Yeah,
wow.
So, and people were like, oh, it's over for him, he can't come back, blah, blah, blah. And we just worked again. Just believed, trusted, you know what I'm saying? Changed his diet, because he gained weight, the whole injury time. Right. Changed his diet, and everybody was on the same, on one accord. And for him to get back and then do, he did just enough to get right. Like, they see, he's healthy. And then now this year is over. He back to himself.
Wow.
Which is work, but pushing the diet is definitely. I make it so when I start training the pre-draft, that's when we started. I started with a detox, and then get them to change their diet. Like Austin Reeves was coming straight. He played for the Lakers, straight from the farm. Eat from the rooter to the tutor, pork, everything. You know what I mean? And then he played at Oklahoma.
That's
at
a meat
university.
city.
So, but he was open. Hey, this is, you want to get to this level. He wasn't a high recruit for the league. Like he was on the mock. They had him on the mock draft, but but he detoxed. He came, worked 3 times a day, changed his diet, and for him to where he is now, he signed a deal on draft day with the Lakers. They worked a deal behind the draft.
Wow.
To get in the so he went from a two-way deal is like, you heard of the G League? The NBA G League.
Yeah.
It's like the minors.
Used to be the D League, was it? Or that's something?
The G League is like the minor leagues of the NBA.
Gotcha.
So it's like, let's say we play for the Lakers, the point guard get hurt. They say, oh, let's go to our G League team, bring the point guard up to replace. Like
Gotcha.
So he had a 2-way deal, which is good. He had a guarantee, but it's like, you're not on the Lakers. The G League is like, we're gonna watch you, keep you close to us. We could call you up if we want to, like that. But so before the season even starts, he goes from a 2-way. Once they start seeing him in practice, everything, he goes from a 2-way deal to a 2-year guaranteed deal.
Wow. And this is from.
That's unheard of. Yeah, that's.
And then he started changing his diet, and you trained him as well, or this was just.
That was before that.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So before that, he got the 2-way deal. That was great. After that, you go from a 2-way deal. That means like, yo, you're in the minors.
Yeah, like
to a 2-year guaranteed deal with the team. So he's with LeBron in them.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's rare. Like, that's rare. That's major. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like, oh, yeah, it is. And everything that the scouts were saying, oh, I don't know if he could shoot good enough. I don't know if he's a white kid, he could play enough defense. We worked on. I had him. Weekway Park, Denman Hill, defensive sliding, late night shooting, early morning. So and then
you had him doing slides up the hill, up that hill, serious boy.
Slides back. I had him doing all type,
fire,
but working on his lateral movement, and then shooting early morning, late night, 3 times a day. Just get into his mental. It was more mental. It was more like, yo, you can shoot. I don't care what they say. I'm with you every day. So you ain't gonna sit here and tell me that he can't shoot. And this agent like, you think we should bring in this specialist to help, shooting specialist? I'm like, nah, I got it. Like, no, at this point, we've been working. They want to come and change it. Like, nah. And I bet on myself. Like, I got it. And then to hear, I still have it, all on my phone, articles where they say one of the purest shooters in the
wow, yo, you making me get chills right now.
You know what I mean? He's the best on-ball defender on the league. Like, that's crazy. I have the articles where they were questioning it to now what they say. To now, he was the. It's just crazy. So nobody can tell me anything, but it's just work. There's no secret. People think I do some intricate stuff. Like, I'm very fundamental, and it's just committed, and we just outwork people. So it's not I'm talking about 6 a days. You know what I mean?
Wow.
That even, Sheena used to be like, wait, what? How you 6 times a day? I'm talking about work, early morning, late night. You know what I mean? Just that commitment. It's gonna pay off.
Yeah.
And nothing intricate. They think, damn, you work with these players, you do like.
You putting stuff in the water.
Yeah, nah.
Son in that aquafit water.
But look how it started from me going from a football player to it was just all I did was outwork, and then to have the longevity to play longer than the people that were better than me, and play professional for 9 years in court. You know,
that's what I wanted to talk to you about with the longevity, right? Because we talked about this before. I don't know if you remember when I was telling you like about the eating the chicken wings and the pizzas and stuff. Were you doing that before? And then did you? How did you change your diet? Like, or were you always eating vegan? Like, what was that like? And did it make you a better player? Like, what was the difference? How did you turn vegan? Let us know. Let these players know. Let these players know they're hearing all these stats. They want to be Allen Watson. Like, you know what I mean? What's the internal? How was that for you? What was that?
In college, my senior year in college, Coppin State University, when I knew that I was going to be pursuing the next level, I felt like I'm short. You know what I mean? I'm like, you short, bro? You gotta be exceptional. You know what I'm saying? So the little that I knew about red meat, or I read up and learned, I was like, they say, oh, it take all this to digest, weeks to digest, and slow you down. So once I heard that, no, I went cold turkey. Boom. No more. No. I was just eating chicken, fish, like that, turkey, stuff like that. Cut out the red meat, beef, pork. That's how I started. Now I go to NBA tryouts, and I'm doing well, whatever. I'm thinking I'm going to make the Wizards at that time. Was my first big tryout or whatever. I'm the last one cut, the last point guard cut, and I beat out a lot of people. But I attribute it to how I changed. Like I was, in my mind, that's how I took it. Like the only thing, and I played the best in a week span. I did everything right. Like, and at that time I didn't have an agent. I got invited because my school was there, so the people knew of me. And then, so I went there, did well. I don't know if you ever heard of Sham God.
I heard of Sham God.
In New York. So what happened? They drafted Sham God, and so even though I outplayed all these players, and they were bringing in shooting coaches for him and all this stuff, but Mike Brown, who's now the coach of Sacramento Kings now, he was the bottom of the totem pole then of coaching. He was the one that I was dealing with. So he's like, hey, Watson, man, he's like, man, you outplayed all these people, blah, blah, blah. But if we keep you over him, it makes player personnel look bad. So that would be like, you draft him, I come in, I outplay him, it makes you look bad. Like, what? So that was politics. At that time, I didn't understand.
Politics, yeah.
And I didn't have a person in my corner to say, it's all right. Listen, Dow Armstrong, Avery Johnson, they got cut 4 or 5 times and we kept coming back. So that was what I should have kept coming back. But I was so hurt because I'm thinking the best man win. And now even the people that were on my team at that camp, they're telling me like, yo, you gonna make it, bro. Now Brian Reese, Johnny Rose, they had big schools, North Carolina, Maryland. They like, yo, you gonna make it, brother. Keep playing. So now I'm like, damn, I'm rocking. And for them to tell me that on the last day is like, wait, what? I was hurt. Like, I was crushed. And I didn't understand it. So I didn't have somebody say, this all right, bro, we're gonna be right back. And I was like, man, F the NBA, man. I'm just out of frustration. And I did the CBA after that. So it was like, just playing the CBA. CBA was the minor league. Before the G League, it was the CBA.
Got you.
So that's what I did. I made all rookie team and all that, but I didn't get called up. And I got a good deal to go to Europe, and that's how the whole thing started. And I should have kept coming back to the NBA, but it worked out.
Wow.
So like after the red meat, and then you dropped that, what made you drop after the chicken and fish?
So
like,
then I was just doing fit. I was just doing like more pescatarian. It's like, all right, I feel good. And just, again, as you learn, you grow, it's like, all right. And the vegan thing came, my barber, he was kind of on that. So he introduced me to, my barber. He used to have like the sea moss drinks in the
What year was this? When was this?
This was, because I stopped eating meat in 96.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I stopped eating meat.
I'm thinking you about to say 2008. Nah.
Like beef and pork, 96. I did chicken.
Meat when Jay-Z came out?
Yeah, bro.
That's why you
Can I
tapped
live?
in, yo.
Yeah, like, can I live?
I'm trying to think. So I was doing pescatarian, probably all the way up until like 2000. I was been vegan probably like 7 to 8 years now.
Wow.
Excuse me. Yeah, I was like 2000. Yeah, like 7 to 8 years I've been vegan, definitely. And then so he the one. The funny thing is, my barber again, he's doing the sea moss. I said, come. When he didn't have it, he like, I ain't been having it, blah blah blah. But this new place opened, Blueberry. Yo, you gotta. I'm telling you, they got.
We always talk about blueberry every episode.
Yeah. And I started going there. I started going to get the smoothies. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then at this time, I used to go to. I'm a work ethic person, so I always took time to create like slogans for T-shirts or training stuff that I wanted to do. Different. I always would go to Starbucks downtown and do that for hours. Like just take my, get my little coffee and create. And So now when I went to Blueberry, I'm like, damn, the energy in there, the ambiance was like,
Yo.
what?
Yeah.
And then once I got
Blueberry
hit to
Cafe, Electric Ave, baby.
yeah, the porridge, it was like, oh, I don't gotta go to Starbucks because I put my book out and that's,
Yep.
you know, I was just, again, I was writing up players that I didn't even train. I would just see a player and be like, oh, if I work with him, I would do I would change. You know, I got a bunch of notebooks with players in them that I was like, if I train him, I would do this, I would get that. You know, that's what I would do. I would add this to it.
Wow, yo.
So stuff like that. But anyway, I would be at Blueberry and like, oh, all right. And that's kind of how I started learning more. It's like, all right, because I was just doing fish, and then I started cutting back more and more. And once I got in that element, Sheen and all, it was like, oh, there's a whole nother level to this. You know, so.
Wow, yo. Wow.
So like how important, you know, you think of like a Kyrie Irving, you know, diet wise, is, you know, his diet along with the work ethic, do you feel like that combination helps him to like elevate to like, you know, where he is now?
Definitely. Yeah, I think his diet, I mean, granted,
Yeah.
he is special.
Yeah.
He's special. And I have a thing with, you know, a lot of people that do train or do what I do, they try to teach these kids Kyrie Irving moves. And it's not fair because he's ridiculously gifted. You know what I mean? And granted, I'm sure he worked on it, but the stuff he does is instinctively. So you're trying to teach a kid a move that you watch Kyrie do, and it's like, what? He's not even that type of structured kid. You know, but to answer your question, yes, I definitely think it played a major role in where he is today and his thought process, and he's just on a whole nother frequency right now. You know, I think this year he's going to have an amazing year because he reached a whole nother level with his mind. Like he stuck to the code for himself. He didn't fold, and with all the stuff that's coming out about it, it's like he gonna show the world like I'm still that dude. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely think it played a major role.
Wow.
Even like LeBron, hearing that he spent like 1.5 on his body, like could that be like one of the like reasons why he really don't get injured that much?
Yes, LeBron has really been the catalyst for athletes. Well, getting attention now with social media and all that, but he's been the catalyst for athletes taking care of their bodies.
Wow.
You know.
Wow.
Once people start seeing that, what he was doing, and to the extreme he was doing it, chefs and all that. Victor, that year, he got the chef. It was kind of like, if he's spending 1 point something million on his body, gotta at least be, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So, it helped. You know what I mean? You get chefs, you get massages, you get.
Yeah, I was about to ask you that.
Yeah.
What's your recovery? How should a like athlete recover? Cause I think I was telling you yesterday, I ain't take stretching serious as I do as a trainer now. You know what I mean? So how should athletes be recovering?
Man.
Diet wise?
Yeah, so hydration.
Recovery wise? Hydration?
Is
Look, got the
hydration.
hold it up.
You gotta stay hydrated.
Yep.
Sure.
Glass bottle, right?
Yeah, all glass, yeah.
Yep.
Anti-plastic. You know.
Hydration.
Yeah, you know.
Athletes listen, hydration.
So
what else?
hydration is definitely key because it keeps your joints and your muscles lubricated. You know? So that's key. And then you're giving out a lot, all the sweat. And today they play, you know, with kids. I'm telling kids, you're playing 3 and 4 games a day, summertime. The wear and tear on their bodies is crazy.
Right.
And then so you're training, you're playing, you're practicing so you're doing your outside training, which would be stuff with me. You have your team practice stuff. Then you're playing 3 or 4 games a day for a weekend. That's a lot. And so you're drinking the water that's doing nothing to you. They're feeding them McDonald's on the road. At AAU, that's fast food. The sugary. So then you go into the store getting all this candy. So now you play 8 games in 2 days. You're drinking the fake water. You load it up on sodium and salt from the fast foods you eat. I used to do it. I was a kid, played. So we would have McDonald's at night. Sometimes have McDonald's in the morning to breakfast. Dunkin' Donuts, they be getting Krispy Kreme. You know what I'm saying? So So you not hydrated, sugary desserts or sweets, and you're eating fast food. So the muscles, your joints is like, the injury is bound to happen. You know what I mean? You're overexerting yourself. So the hydration, that's why I say the hydration is super important. Like that's like your foundation. The hydration and the stretching.
Mobility.
The mobility, yeah. Mobility, flexibility, stability is your basement of your house. And I tell them, you build the house, I always ask them, you build the house from the basement to the roof or the roof to the basement? They say the basement to the roof. So your basement is your hydration, flexibility, mobility, all that stuff. Stability, balance, whatever. That's your foundation. And then you build on that.
Wow.
And people don't, again, everything is simple. I'm not an intricate person. I don't sit here and say, all these big words. Like, and that's what people be thinking, like, damn, that's all you do? Like, yeah, it's effective. And it's simple. How you parents would come, I was trying to get him to jump high or a track run, I'm trying to get him to move faster. And we were training with this guy, so, how you doing? Well, to get faster, they have him doing the ladder. Like, the ladder? The footwork? But that's a social media thing because it looked like, he working, doing foot speed. But his foot speed, but if you're trying to move faster, your hips, you got to be able to get, if I could get your hips higher, your stride. So how do they do your time? By seconds. So if your motion is here, boom, 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 right? But I get your hips higher and stretch there, every time now, it's going to increase your speed. Just from the flexibility and mobility. No crazy weights and doing all these big squats. Like, nah. So now I got your limbs to stretch out. And guess what? If I attack your hips, same thing with people that want to get more explosion. Get the hips loose, you squat lower, you can jump higher. That's the first stage. Wow. You know what I mean? The ladder, that's the last thing of it. But to me, that's a social media thing. Like, look at that, look footwork. I ain't making faster. You're trying to increase speed, you know what I mean? So for me, flexibility, mobility, stability, because your balance, like, your balance is everything. I can handle the ball really well, but as soon as somebody bump you off all over the place. Your core is weak, you know what I'm saying? So you your core foot placement, balance, all that stuff is that's like my everything. Everything builds off of that.
How often should how often should you stretch? Is it just like before games? Like, how often?
Yeah. So you should stretch every day. That shit is like anytime, and I'm not on social media that much, but when I do, what's the first thing you hear me say? Man, rising, make sure you hydrate.
Meditation.
Stretch, meditate and stretch.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. So that just made me think of the question too, because I wanna be respectful of your time. So I had two more questions. Yeah. I know you probably got another question or so, but for me it's two more. Three actually. I could form these two in this one right here. So yeah, what is greatness hours? Because like you just said, what did you say every morning? Meditation, hydration,
stretching.
Mobility, right? And then you always say greatness hours, and your thing is
Yeah.
So like, I wanted to know like, what is greatness hours? And then I also wanted to know like, Aquafit, because we didn't even get to like the blueberry. Where did that come from? Because you're doing it at Aquafit. Yeah. So, I wanted to know what's greatness hours and, how did you get Aquafit with Sheena, with Blueberry Cafe and everything? Yeah. What are those two? What
so, greatness hours first. The greatness hours is like, so everything, again, so like, A game is always going above maximum expectations. That's what A game stands for. And no off season is the slogan. So again, it still goes to work ethic, outworking people, and going above and beyond. So the greatness hours is like if you're like my peer with competition, right? I have to do more to him. Like, how am I gonna be better? And if the game is mental, right? How I started thinking was, I'm gonna get up earlier than this person. I'm gonna stay up later than them. So if I do more, mentally, when I go against him, I'm like, I know he wasn't doing what I was doing.
And you're doing it with a good diet, right?
Yeah. So my mental approach is gonna be, I outworked you. Because I know like a lot of people that I had to go against in my era was tough. So, but I know their lifestyle. Now you gotta think, I'm known for working out. this nigga always working out. You know what I'm saying? So if I know, dang, he's good, but he's in the streets a little. You know what I'm saying? He doing this.
Wow,
When I
Alan.
played it was no way in hell I'm letting him outplay me because I know the commitment that my mindset wasn't like, nah, you still in the streets or you hanging out. Like I wasn't that type of person. So it was no way. So my mindset was I'm outworking jokers. So the greatness hours came because it's like once I saw a video, they said most millionaires and billionaires are up watching the 3 o'clock news. So they already know what's going on before the world even get up.
3:30 a.m. or p.m.?
AM. So that's how, so the greatest hours came. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna get up. You know what I'm saying? I started getting up early. I started getting up at 6. Boom. Oh, now I'm up at 5. Oh, yeah. So then I started having people working out 4, 3:30.
I be seeing y'all at 4 in the morning. I be like, yo.
And so the meaning behind it was the competition is sleeping. They definitely not up. By the time they get up, we already done had 2 workouts. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
if you continue to do that, it's going to train your mind, right? Your killer instinct is going to be like, I know y'all ain't doing this. And then the hours of beating on your craft, it's going to be, you're going to be so far ahead, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like where that whole thing came from and just being like, it's dark. I'm up with the bread trucks because that's what the bread, you know what I'm saying? Dunkin' Donuts on us and Dunkin' Donuts, you know what I mean? So, and getting people to buy into it and do more. You know, people thinking, I can't do that. I gotta get my bread. Get the work in, bro. You know what I mean? And it just translates into, and that's what A game did. It's just whatever you do, just going above and beyond. So if people know that if I ask you to do 10 layups, the A game ways you got to do 11 or more because you're going above what's expected from you. You know what I mean? And you carry it. It's a lifestyle. Everything you do, you go above and beyond. So you always be ahead.
Wow.
The other question was
Aquafit. How did you?
Aquafit.
Yeah. How did you link with Sheena?
Yeah. So
Yeah, Aquafit.
I started.
Electric Ave, y'all. Blueberry.
Yeah, Electric
Sheena's
Ave.
Our second interview.
So it's funny. Something I put up today, or was it yesterday on my story, but I've been working with like her son Ant and another gentleman who lives upstairs who had an issue and lost a lot of his nerves, can't walk, whatever the case may be. So so how we met, I used to go to Blueberry and study my craft, whatever, eat, and Ant was working with somebody. I guess he relocated or it didn't work out for whatever reason. So Janice actually was telling Sheena, like, yo, you need to get with this guy. He tough, he good, I'm telling you that. And she like, all right, and then never got to it. But, you know, I didn't even know her at the time. But one day I was in there and Janice like, that's him right there, I'm trying to go. And then she introduced herself. You can work with my son. This is what happened. I'm trying to help him walk. And then I started working with Ant. And now I'm in sports. I know the body, but I never worked with somebody that I had to try to help walk. You know, I just never did it. But how I am, I'm like, I'm gonna take the challenge. And I told him, I said, I never did anything like this, but I want to take the challenge.
Wow.
And I just, from the knowledge that I had and my spiritual connection,
Spiritual connection.
yeah, so I just kind of went with like stuff that I knew how, and then I was coming up with exercises to help, you know, build strength and this confidence. But again, it was mental. I treated it like an athlete, you know what I mean? Because you're still competitive. I think as an athlete in everybody. Like, so you just got to pull it out. But I started doing stuff with him, helping him out, and that's how I met her. And and then I started training her. Trying to help her get to her goals, and then it was just a flow like that was just, we connected like easily.
Yeah, y'all one of my favorite couples.
It was a mental connection because it was like we felt like we knew each other, you know. And so yeah, I started working with Ant, took that challenge, help her, and then we just start connecting. It was just like, I don't know, it's just a natural, you know what I mean, that flow. It was like, damn, we just alike, and we was on that same frequency. And her she has a wealth of knowledge that helped me, you know, expand to where I am. So I love, like, you know, for the training aspect, I'm here. But when you meet somebody that's not even in that field, and you build and it still help you elevate. It was like, oh yeah, and we just helped each other and naturally, not even like no intimacy, we was just kicking it, and it grew to that.
Wow, so beautiful.
Yeah, everything was created, like the name, just I don't know. We're doodlers. Like I'm always writing. You create every idea. Like I have notebooks of stuff I just thought of, idea, anything I sketched out or wrote out, whatever. So she does the same thing, and we would do that. Oh, what you think that? Ooh, zucchini bar, sketch. You know what I mean? It was just that type of thing.
Zucchini bar, then Aquafit, and let the people know what Aquafit is.
So Aquafit is like, man, Aquafit is special. It's a gym, it's a water bar. We do plant-based sushi.
Which is good.
Cold pressed.
Yeah, so good. And I had some seafood mac yesterday.
Yeah, it's the seafood mac.
Vegan seafood mac. Oh my God.
It's a very special place. It's intelligent. We call it an intelligent.
Intelligent chef, right?
Yeah, intelligent chef. But we call it a space. It's just because the water is intelligent.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just a vibe when you come in there. People come in there like, oh, I just love it in here. So it's kind of, we mix the training, the fitness aspect with the water, which is important in that, and then the healthy food, this raw, which is kind of like the highest level of veganism, and with the cold pressed juices. It's just like a magical place.
Yes.
And it also turns into, it was like a concert place in there. Every Aquafit.
Yeah, we have the sessions, the ciphers in the back.
Yeah. It's
The
so,
rap
I'm telling you, it's very intelligent.
So fun.
Like whatever you want to do, it's going to turn into that and have the vibe. And people are like, wait, this the gym? You know?
Yeah.
So,
the gym too.
Yeah, it's very intelligent place and it's unique. People come, they're like, I remember when we were starting, and people were like, what? Selling water? Like, what? And people would say, water is water. Like, all right. Now,
everybody come in, man. I done seen Styles P. I done met Bimmy in there.
Yeah.
I brought Clips in there.
Yeah.
Who else? Cory Booker I've seen in there.
If I'm not mistaken,
Who else? There's so many people that come in there.
the guy, I think he on like one of the Marvel joints.
Yeah, he was just there. Yeah,
he was just there like a couple days ago, right?
Yeah, from Marvel.
I did say that. He played in four brothers.
547 Central Ave, man. It's a whole, it's 4 spaces.
The ice cream joint just opened up.
They just opened up Magic. What is it? Magic Cone, plant-based ice cream, Blueberry Cafe, Zucchini Bar, Aquafit Gym. And then y'all also have the Divine Crystal Shop.
Divine Crystal.
Yep. And then Rhythm and Food. Yeah, my piece right here from Divine. Shout out brother Divine. You can get your crystals in there. Y'all also open it up Rhythm Cafe. What is that like a
so it'll be a cafe. We were originally going to do vegan Caribbean. So we'll still have that stuff, but it's also, we're going to do like a comedy club. So it'll be like a vegan comedy club.
Fire.
That's the goal. That's what we're trying to go for. Because we came up in you guys are probably younger than that, but you remember Peppermint Lounge?
Nah.
Peppermint, sit your ass. So Peppermint Lounge.
Yeah, no Peppermint Lounge.
Bill Bellamy.
We heard of it though.
Yeah, so we want to, because as vegans, we don't really have, we always had to eat French fries.
Yeah, salad.
I hate that.
Yeah, so we always wanted
That
to.
food's so good.
Yeah.
It's been the times where like, man, people don't even know. What's the time where like I just quit everything and like I wanted my time to myself to learn, right? And I just didn't care. Like I just wanted all my time because I was learning and I knew that it was gonna be a time where once I could put this knowledge in and I wanted all my time to learn. And so because I had to cut my time, I had to figure out ways. So I would take certain clients and trade, like for my hair to get done, certain things. And then I was like, okay, how am I gonna get my food? And I went to Sheena and she let me, I was telling her the situation, like, look, I'm just trying to build. Yeah. I want to learn. She let me eat in there for $60 a week. And I was just eating, like, every day, like, Janice would make my meals. Yeah. And when I tell you, like, man, I felt, like, so alive, so alive. Yeah. I knew myself, like, man, that food, like, it's not just only good and tasty and amazing, but like
you feel good.
You feel so good. Like even like eating other places, even other healthy vegan places, but you could tell the love is in the food, man. Y'all gotta go there, man. Like,
It's a
for real,
hub,
for real.
though.
It's a
Like,
hub.
It's a hub. You know,
half our guests is from there.
Especially
Now that I think about it,
C
half our guests
Moss
from here.
pie.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's special. Yeah,
Sea Moss bean pies, baby.
it's crazy. Yeah, Sheena's
Sheena, man. Thank you.
the goddess,
Thank you, Alan.
but she definitely is.
Thank
She's
y'all.
special. Like
Thank y'all.
somebody can have the exact same thing, same ingredients. Like you gotta just make it. It's gonna be different. It's gonna taste different. You're gonna feel different. And just watching her, I'm like, holy. I'm so.
Nah,
I don't know if she might not want people to know, but like it's really the connection because how I am with the fitness and my clients and what I do.
Yeah,
I'm talking about she'll talk to the food, talk to the vegetables, clean it,
She
make
like,
sure so she's it's just like
Washington Carver. How you
I have a
plants.
person to make a salad. They just get the level. She's caressing it.
That's salad.
Love, like it's different. Like that's why it's like you can't even imagine what she puts into it.
Oh my God.
And then to not, like she don't even know. She'll make stuff. She's zucchini's whole menu, just about more than 80% of the menu is stuff she made. It'll be like, well, what else did you like? Oh, I should like this. Oh, all right. What it supposed to taste like? She never had the stuff. So
Oh, yeah, she never ate meat.
She
and
never
stuff.
ate the stuff. So it's like she's basing it off of my taste. You know what I mean?
That's so
making
fire.
it and just let me try this. Nah, and it's like a mad scientist. And it's just to see her in action and talking to the food. You be like.
George Carver was doing that with the plants.
And it's like, so now when I would hear people say like, oh no, this is good, but like when you make it,
Yeah.
I feel, it's just so, she's definitely a special creature.
Nah,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
How do y'all continue, like, as a melanated couple, continue to keep, just each other inspired, and y'all constantly like elevating with one another? Because it's a beautiful thing to see, especially like just a melanated couple.
Yeah.
We don't always see too many in a positive light. So for y'all both to have y'all respective talents and gifts or what have you, how do y'all continue to keep that going as a couple?
Man, we definitely have our individual goals. Like I still have goals that I'm trying to reach that I definitely will get to, and she has her own goals separately.
Right.
And then we have goals together that we want to achieve. So, and we're supportive, and we support each other. We trust each other, and idea. Hey, what you think about this? Or like we bounce off of each other like ideas, or we create together. So it's like I love that she's ambitious, cause at the level she's at, and then the level I'm at, and we still ambitious, and we adore each other. It's like, damn, to see her in her element is like magical. And then she'll come, like when I was doing the whole pre-draft stuff, she would just come and just be like, yo, damn, it's amazing. I would have never thought. It's just,
Right.
In your world, and then to hear people, for me to hear people talk about her, like what she did for their hair care back, or help save some, whatever. And then it's the same thing. People like, man, you don't know Ali basketball. He was da-da-da. And she just be like, damn. So it's just, we're still hungry.
Right.
We never get satisfied. And you're always dreaming. I'm always pushing and dreaming. So
It sound like y'all admire one another,
Definitely.
as well.
Yeah.
Cause like me, just being engaged, what have you. My fiance, she runs track or what have you, and like she's just like awesome. She's consistently pushing herself, constantly going, and it's like, all right, how can I encourage you?
Yeah.
How can you encourage me?
Yeah. It has to be that's so important.
Very
I mean,
important.
It's so important.
Very important.
And once you see your partner's, goal driven, hungry, like, and you're like that too, you gotta be supportive, and then you know when to turn it on and off, and then the vice versa. So it's definitely magical.
Wow. So I have one more question. I'm not sure Bro has another question, but I have one more question. So like a while back when I was in college, right, I had a paper, right, and one of the papers I had used for a source was Umar Johnson's book on teaching, because he was like the school psychiatrist and stuff like that. So psychologist, excuse me, and basically in the book it was saying that like, and I'm not sure up to date, but in the book it was saying that like a lot of the prison rates is high percentage of ex black athletes, right? So my question is like, for those who had like, cause I know like even like some of my little cousins, I used to ask them like, you know, what y'all want to do, and it was always NBA. And my question is for the older men, the younger men, right, and then the kids coming up who just have like NBA on their mind, right, and that those 12 slots you trying to fill in, or those 24 slots you trying to fill in, right, for the person that like that's all they got, right? And let's say they didn't go to prison, or but most of the time, once they don't get that dream, they don't have nothing else because they never worked or don't know how to tap in. So for the man that feel like lost from that and only had like that career or that highlight and this field, they be like, man, we don't want to hear none of that old, we don't want to hear none of that old stuff you did back in the day. You know what I mean? For the person or the man that lost the mojo, right? What would you give advice for him to kind of like pick it back up just within himself as a man? Like how he could tap into the greatness of himself. Like give some tips on how he could tap into his greatness again.
So basically, he pursued it and then didn't get it.
Yeah, didn't get it, and now like he just stuck and feel like it's still obviously that greatness was there, but it wasn't where he thought it was gonna be, quote unquote. And we know like obviously somebody can't make it.
Yeah.
So if they just feel lack and they don't also want to dwell on the past, what can they do to just tap into that greatness for themselves at this point to take themselves to the next level in whatever things they could do? Maybe they don't know. What's some tips that they could do to just tap into themselves as men?
So I'm gonna do two parts of it. So what I would tell them to, go back into the childhood and the things that you love to do, the things that made you happy, the things that you like, so because when you do that, it'll be like, I did used to color. I was good at, I used to paint, you know what I mean? And because we did a lot of things, and then some things, you weren't good at, whatever, but when you start the things that made you happy or pleasant, or it could have been like, I don't know, helping seniors.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Going, like, you tap into those happy moments or things that made you happy, and then you could figure out like, I might be good in customer service, or, you know what I mean? It's whatever, like, some people really are just good at stuff like that. So, but when you tap into that childhood, I think that helps a lot. Because you just did things, you had fun doing it, you know what I mean? Whatever. It could have been, I was good at, when we used to play, I don't know, football, I was the one that was organizing the plays.
Yeah,
You'd be a good manager somewhere, or you're good with managing people, you know what I mean? So, and figure out, and then if you say, I could do that, you might could go to a Boys and Girls Club. You like sports, so I'm gonna stay in sports.
Right.
I like to manage groups of people or kids, you know what I mean? So, all right, let me go maybe direct a Boys and Girls Club or YMCA, and start like that, because it'll still keep you connected in the sport. And then you had some type of knowledge in the craft, so you can help the young generation. The younger generation keeps you young. So now you're not focusing on, I didn't make it. All right, well, hey, young fella, this is what I didn't do. So I'm gonna give you these steps to help you get to that point, or whatever the case may be. But even when I go speak to kids, I tell them what I'm doing now, it wasn't my plan. So I always tell them, just stay the course, and just go hard at it. Because when I was young, I used to see on TV, like, the athletes, they always had a sneaker deal, they always had a sports drink. And so that's all I saw as a kid, like, damn, I want that. So now I'm chasing my own greatness into what I want to do in the craft, whatever. But it didn't work out how I planned. So again, I was at NBA right there, like a thin line right there. Didn't make it. And so it's like, damn, I didn't just fold. I kept going and whatever. But my point was that I always wanted a sports drink, a sneaker deal, and be with the best players in the world. It all came true, but not in the way that I did.
Wow.
Because I always was sponsored. From the time I played, I was with N1, Reebok, Adidas, all that stuff. I had Body Armor. When Body Armor first, like, popped off, it was like, I went to I did a marathon. I did a fundraiser. I think Randy Foy had a thing at Branchwood Park. I connected with the agent there. I don't even know how talking. I liked it. It was good. I'm like, oh, it's healthy. Got coconut water, and the rep just liked me. We was talking, and I'm like, yeah, I do stuff with kids, camps, blah blah. What you play with? Connected with him, and then I got a little sponsorship deal. That was the first drink. So now, at that time, I'm with N1 from Sneaker Apparel. I had it's called a poster boy deal. They sent me mad gear, and it was like I was working with kids, playing ball, and it was kind of like a poster boy deal. They let so kids gonna see you and see your sneakers and stuff, and then oh yeah, it's a way to introduce them to the stuff, whatever. So I had this sneaker deal. I had Body Armor, and then I started training pros. So I tell kids it didn't work out how I planned it, but I still achieved it.
Staying the course.
Staying the course. You know what I mean? And I studied my craft. And I didn't know I was gonna do fitness. You know what I'm saying? I didn't, but I studied. Being in Europe for 9 months, you got time. I started meeting with doctors, getting close with them, picking their brain. Europe is different than here in the States. So what I learned, NASM and all that here, their doctors different. So I combined what I learned there, here, and then me as a player. So it's rare that you get a person that played, studied it, and I had all the things lined up because I had a reputation. I got all the certifications, and I was in Europe meeting with those elite doctors, and I played. So I could tell you, nah, this gonna work that, this gonna work that, this gonna help that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why in my mind I felt like I'm the best, because I look at people now and they didn't get all them certifications. They could just look the part and then be like, oh yeah, I'm a trainer now. That's why I stopped calling myself a trainer, because everybody just do it. It's just like, oh, well, he looked like he in shape. Well, I'm a trainer. No, I studied. I'm talking about studied, certification here, travel and go here and beat my craft. You know, I stopped saying a trainer. That's how I came with tactician.
Tactician.
Yeah, tactician.
Wow.
But yeah, it doesn't always work out how you plan, but just stay the course, and you'll still find another niche. And to your credit, people do fall off in our game. Like, I know a lot of people that didn't make it and became alcoholics because they couldn't. You know, people were expecting them to make it. They did, and they ain't had nothing else to fall back on.
I used to see if some of those documentaries they used to have on, like, some of the players. I forgot some of the names, but they would have the documentaries of them in high school, and then they living in trailers.
Yeah. People, that's all they. Yeah, that's very common. It's very common. I never had that type of situation, but a lot of my peers ended up like that.
Wow.
Do you have anything like upcoming that that you're able to share?
Yeah. So, yes, a drink, that's like a tea. So, it's a tea I have a thing called Vegan Athlete, but a tea that's coming out is called Herbal Athlete, and the first line of it is going to be basketball kind of related, meaning like the term. So the first one that's going to drop is called The Between. Called The Between, right? So it'll be a picture of me on the bottle doing the move, but every herb that's in it gets in between your joints and muscles for pain. So it's called
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on. That's so fire. That's so fire.
QR code on the back. So when you scan the QR code, it'll be my no off-season tea, plus it'll be a short video of me teaching the between the legs move.
Fire. Come on, man. Come on.
So yeah, that I'm excited about that. And it tastes, a lot of the teas they had that
that bitter.
Yeah, I know what it's
that
for.
Bitter thing.
So we try to combine the like a sweet tea type of thing, but a good tasting, healthy, effective tea.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I'm super excited about that. And I think it's a perfect time to have a nice amount of athletes that will endorse it. So I'm excited about that. Doing some specialty camps. So like I have a character called the Point Guardian Angel. point guard and angel is basically like a character. It's somebody sketched. It's a character. It's me, but it's fit and it got the wings. A point guard and an angel. So it's always basically teaching. I'm teaching the game from a point guard's perspective. Point guards are like the coaches on the floor. Point guards are leaders. You know. So if you ask Sheena, anybody, I live my life through a point guard. Basically, like, again, we ran the show. You know what I mean? We organize everything. We're the leaders. We make everything go. We make sure. And I study. If you play with me, I took pride in. Oh, Tori likes the ball right there. I'm gonna make sure I give it to her. Seams where I'm not going to pass the ball with the ball, spin it. Like, I was very detailed in how I play. So people love to play with me. Like, oh, damn, I'll get the ball to you. You know what I mean? I was the leader. I made sure. And even when I went to Europe, they were used to like the Americans doing all the work. So we come as the Americans, we got to score 20, 30 to win. I changed that mindset. I'm like, no, because I'm not sitting there coming here doing all the work. So what I did was I brought the work ethic. So again, we working out before practice, after practice. So if you weren't used to scoring, now you scoring 8, 10 points, right? You gonna feel, so now, and the common thing in Europe too is if you don't perform well, like 2 games, 3 games, they ship you home next American.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was that fast like that. So for me, I got cool. I was having family, I would have team dinners on Fridays. Now we training together. You feel better. Now you not scoring. Now you scoring 8, 10 points. You scoring 6 to 7. Now you like, oh, I'm good. So guess what? If I had a bad stretch, they like, I ain't sending him home. Everybody, the team loved me. And then I took NBA Cares concept. So what I did was I would have my nickname. I had different nicknames in different countries, but the Little Giant was our main one. So what I did was the old school screen print. I had people screen my pictures, all the pictures that me being in the newspaper over there, I got them put on t-shirts. You know, at the NBA games, they throw shirts and all that stuff. So I had the Little Giant put on there, and then, so the fans loved me. And I was doing camps and clinics for kids. So I was a rock star. Like, people loved me because, like, man, he doing stuff with the kids. The team loved him. Everywhere I went, I did the same. I took the same boot. So it was kind of like, well, we love this guy, his work ethic. So.
Dang, you kind of like what you just said about your aunt, just in your your way, like yeah, it's fire.
Yeah, it definitely was. But everything came from work, man. I nothing was handed. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have that story like the typical like. Man, I grew up in the project. The Spires is the project.
Yeah, I know. I've been in the Spires before a couple times.
But I was
yeah.
Like,
that's deep.
I had my mom, you know what I'm saying, early, I ain't have a want for anything. You know what I mean? We wasn't like rich, but I wasn't, oh man, some days I ain't eat. You know what I mean? But I wasn't that. You know what I mean? My mom kept me fresh.
I love your mom, man.
Yeah,
she's so
fresh, worked 2 jobs.
She's so like
vibrant.
Her energy, she's so vibrant.
So I watched her work 2 jobs, stuff like that. So the work ethic is just, and I'm talking about I'm coming in with flip flops, my feet out, just different. I always been different, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I never tried to fit in. I never was a Tim Army for the boot camp style. I was never. Right. I always was just me.
Wow. Any other questions for you?
No.
Nah, yo, thank you so much. Oh, let the people know where they can find you at. We'll put you in the beginning. Yeah. But let them know where they can find you at.
So, I'll talk to this camera.
Which one? This one?
No,
oh, yeah.
So, yeah, you can find me at agame_training on Instagram. You won't see much, but that's where you can find me.
You see
the we working. That you asked me that. That whole thing came from just enjoying what I do and just I don't talk much.
Got you.
But we working. Somebody's just like, be quiet, we working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where that came from.
Quiet on the set.
So A-Game Training is where they can find you?
Yeah, agame_training is the Instagram. That's pretty much.
Oh, and the Aquafit one, right?
Yeah.
What's the Aquafit Instagram?
Is aqua_fit_water bar.
Yeah, we'll tag you. We'll tag it under. Yeah. We'll tag it under there.
Yeah.
We'll add you up there.
Yeah, But
Yes.
yeah, that's.
Anything else you want to let the people know before?
I think that's what I like. The camps, the tea is coming really soon. I see this little, every time I go to Whole Foods, I don't know if you ever see this little girl.
The lemonade, the beehive.
Yeah, I buy
bee.
it and I tag her. She is continue to inspire me. You know what I mean, like you could do it. She's doing really well, and I like to support.
You can about to make me go get one.
Yeah, I support every time I buy one and I tag her.
I did see it on your page. I saw it on your page.
But it inspired me to do it and try to step out my little comfort zone. And everybody wants me to do a little, I was telling you, like a little, I don't want to do a podcast because I'm not a big talker, but I definitely want to get some things out. And I think doing it through that would help.
Yeah.
You know, would help.
You should call it "We Working."
Yeah, I definitely, and I was telling you, I definitely want to do the, I think the Greatness Hours is really dope.
That's fire too.
But the concept is kind of like it might have been I steal my idea though, but the concept is kind of like how Drink Champs, but I'm doing it with water. So just imagine, instead of Hennessy, all that, you got all the different waters in glass.
Yeah, I might take it out.
You know what I mean? And then I got a nice amount of athletes, the young, really good athletes, high school that'll be future pros. So
Need that.
yeah,
Need that.
yeah, and then
That's so fire, man.
So-
You gotta have a "We Working" segment where you do the show, right?
Yeah.
Greatness Hour show, you have "We Working," and it's maybe somebody might say a little bit something that they've been working on, that they've been hiding, like, you know what I mean? It's something like a little part of it, like this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely need a segment.
that's fire.
Because that's how I want to bring guests on. Like I would have the segment I mentioned with Devon is kind of like taking. What's the song that Jay-Z had? It was like, I don't got the bright rock, I got the right. That's I forget what song. You know the verse. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
I don't got the. But I want that hook.
Yeah.
As the intro, it would be the intro for Devon's piece, and then I want to introduce.
Oh, because the rocks, because that's fire.
So I want to introduce, because I asked him how many. He's like, man, it's thousands of crystals. I'm like, cool. So I just have to figure out if it would be like bi-weekly, but him introduce the crystal of the month or whatever the case may be, and give his knowledge.
Pieces is.
Yeah,
Whew,
his pieces
man.
immaculate.
So now I didn't get this one, Devon. I got.
Yeah.
Oh no, I did get this one.
In a charity, I'm looking to do. I'm not a charity, but I'm looking to do a nonprofit where, because I've been doing a lot of free stuff. Like I pay my dues of giving back free stuff. So, and I work with like single moms that had 3 boys that can't.
Yeah.
My prices are a little, you know what I'm saying? But so I do a lot of pro bonos. But if I create a nonprofit, people that could need to help towards stuff like that, and it'll be called Assist Point Guardian Agent Assist.
Fire. That's so fire. I mean, you inspire me. Like, for real, you inspire me.
Nah, that's
Like,
what's up.
and I thank you for this because I wanted, my whole point of why I even thought of you was because, like, just all, like, my little cousins and just the young people, but really just the young boys more so that's, like, so focused on going to the NBA.
Yeah.
I just want them to listen to, like, what you have to say so they know, like, some of the things they could do to set themselves apart, not just for reaching basketball, but yes, for that, but just as a boy going into a man. And women, too. Women who are athletes or, you know, as well. So thank you so much for this, man.
Possible.
Like, man, this is, I feel so good leaving out of here.
Nah, it's good.
Thank you.
It's definitely possible.
Appreciate you.
y'all. And
Anything else around for you?
Make sure if you ever in Newark, New Jersey, that you stop by 547 Central Ave, Newark, New Jersey,
Yeah.
so you could get some good electric food.
Yeah.
Whether you want some treats, whatever it is that you need food-wise,
Yes.
fitness-wise, the spot
Water-wise,
is 547
ice cream-wise.
Central Ave, Newark, New Jersey.
Pancakes,
Blueberry
nachos,
cafe.
pizza, all healthy, all digestible, man.
Aquafit.
Raw foods, yeah, absolutely.
so let
You tuned in, baby. Look, man, health and hip hop. You better get in tune. If you're not, man, look, we giving y'all the gems to get y'all lives right, man. Free gems, man. This is $1 million information here, boy. So let's get it, y'all. Thank you.